totally opposite of what I just said. What do you think about AI?
Dude, so AI is going to displace so many people. I said it yesterday on Jordan's video when I was coming here, because it's my first time in Breckenridge, and I look forward for us to do these more often, these trips. But you know, when you do like the self-tag at the airport, it makes sense, right? You don't need as many people ticketing, you use automation. But then you're supposed to take your ticket, you're supposed to now apparently bag it yourself, and you leave it on the counter for the lady to, or the guy or whoever, to basically put it on the little line that takes it away. So I go and I hand the lady my little sticker, and I hand her my suitcase, and she's like, no, you need to put the sticker on the suitcase. I'm like, okay, that's fine. Why are you here? Well, I'm here to supervise that you put the sticker on the suitcase. And I looked at her, I was like, you will be replaced by AI. And the reason I said that to her is because...
You told her that?
Yeah, straight up.
Dude, I love
it's funny. It's funny because, and it's true, she looked at me like, what? Like, she's like, wait, what? Like, didn't make sense. But I said it to her because it made sense. It made sense that the value that she provides to her company can be replaced by automation. And I think the level of intelligence that it's going to be able to have long term, not short term, I think that there's an extensive period of growth. What we're seeing right now is sort of like ground rules, and you see this automation kind of playing because sometimes Chat GPT does some dumb stuff, right? Yeah. And it plays within the sandbox of the creator. So the creator sets the rule set, right, as to how the AI can process information and what it can't talk about or can't touch. So as they begin to expand kind of the API, or other companies begin to develop their own products, and as entrepreneurs and like us that are kind of like on more of a come up stage and not that established big organization kind of structure, which I personally don't really enjoy anyway, we can start creating, as tools become more available, we can create our own AI and train our own AI. Because if you want to compete in 2040, you think you're going to be competing with human mental power? No, dude. You have to be competing with your AI, with your robots, with your automations, with your softwares, because that's where the future is headed, and it's going to be huge. And if you're not on it, you're going to miss out. So the skill set now is not just blue collar that's going to be replaced. I think white collar is going to be replaced.
Doctors, lawyers,
way
faster
than blue collar,
because
creating, it's not just AI, but you need to create robots and machinery to power what would be manual labor. You need not only software, you need hardware. But on white collar, dude, most of this stuff is now digital. You only need software. You do not need to go into hardware necessarily. So I think a lot of these jobs are going to get just absolutely demolished. Dude, you will not need consultants anymore. You can consult the most intelligent consultant there is, right? If you teach it that way. But I think people need to start utilizing it. If not, they're going to be left behind. I think it's powerful.
How do you position yourself, like short term right now, and then once things do change, how does our world still fundamentally operate? Because this could threaten capitalism.
Freedom, it threaten freedom, bro, beyond capitalism.
So short term, next few years, I feel like it's gonna be like phases of AI. So
yeah,
like
for sure.
This first phase that we're hitting right now, because it's here, and it's good,
and it's like hot too.
And anyone can use it.
It's hot, dude.
And so it's like happening. And so obviously there's a lot of like value arbitrage opportunities to make a little short term business, but eventually one AI is gonna rule them all. So short term, phase one, what should people do? What's the most optimal way they can like actionably protect themselves, I guess?
Yeah, so how you can participate per se in kind of like the AI revolution, we'll call it, is you need to start, if you're an entrepreneur per se, you need to start building companies of the future.
Okay.
Technology is accelerating so quickly that if you're building companies of today, tomorrow they'll become irrelevant. So you need to build companies of the future. You need to build companies that are going to be relevant tomorrow, and that the evergreen period before that becomes irrelevant is extensive. For example, the first introduction of the internet. If you started building products and companies when the internet started, before AI or crazy automations were introduced, you had what, 20 years, 15 years, a pretty decent gap right there to build. I think we're going to have a decade where AI is still very,
that long. Okay.
Yeah, for sure. Because you're talking about, but maybe I'm wrong, dude. Maybe I'm wrong. Like, we don't know the capacity that currently exists. True. And the fact that what is currently publicly available is so powerful has to be a clue that there is something more powerful out there in private
Google
hands,
has
bro.
One. This is
100%,
the first one that
dude.
got public.
100%. One of the members from Capital Club sold one of his companies for $50 million, and he was a software guy. And I asked him the same question, what do you think about AI? And he's like, dude, you have no idea. If you think what they released in the public is the actual stuff, they gatekeep 99.9% of stuff. So the amount of power that's already
scary.
out there, it is scary. And if you look at, for example, BlackRock uses an AI called Aladdin to do forecasting and predictions. And they've had this model being developed over the last several years, and that beats and trumps every other software and automation and any other person that's playing the game.
Like they could have had such an evolved AI for so long
100%,
trading
dude.
markets, and if it's
You
like
don't
actually a true
brother,
AI
think about the advantage you have to have.
to make that much
13 trillion plus
Dumb.
whatever in assets
Dumb.
under
Yeah.
management. You don't just get there by chance. You need to have massive amounts of leverage or super intelligent people.
And they're the first big company to figure it out, and now they're the biggest company by a long shot. And so that could still work at a micro level for like the up and coming entrepreneurs.
100%. I think it's also understanding, bro, is the fact that software and robots, Naval Ravikant talks about it. He says, we're using bots and automation. They're all like little micro workers and employees that do not sleep. They do not rest. They're there 24/7. They don't complain. They do what you tell them to do, and they're reliable.
Yeah.
And that's super powerful, and that's going to rule out a ton of people.
He had a good tweet that this is like a calculator, but for English and writing. He tweeted that today. Banger
Wow,
tweet.
banger.
Involves the man. But